Okay, today in class we are looking to the next step of the Students Debate Project, and that is writing the annotated bibliography. This is a step of research and a step of you communicating your research to me. You've completed 2 documents, and I'd like you to take a look at those, your research report, your evaluation report, and then you have a model example of the research report right there. I'm asking you on this slide to take a look at the model examples of the research and evaluation report, but just look at the research report for the moment. These 2 documents are not only ways of keeping track of your research, but ways of communicating to me how well you are doing on your research. And so I'm getting a very good sense of where everybody is in their research, and some of you are doing fantastically, and some of you are a little bit behind. So if you take a look at the grades on those research and evaluation reports, you can tell where you are. Just because you've turned these in does not mean that research is finished. So tomorrow is a scheduled research workday. I would expect you to continue to research pretty much up until this paper is done. Research has not really ever ended. But today's assignment is another way for you to check in with me on how well your work is going. So now I want you to take a look at the example of the annotated bibliography, and that's the green sheet that you have in front of you. So the annotated bibliography is a bit of a more formal way, a more college-level way of informing your teacher, instructor, professor, whoever it is, what your research is. And this is the first time in class that we're really talking about MLA citation format, because the annotated bibliography, as you can see from each one of those entries, includes a full MLA citation of the resource. Well, let's take a look at the example that you've got there. Take a look at the first one. It's the Evans entry. And you're going to see 2 pieces of information. The first piece of information is that MLA citation, all correctly formatted according to the most recent 2009 MLA format guidelines. You'll also notice that according to all works cited entry, it is a hanging indentation. Phil, what is meant by hanging indentation? Very good, Phil. Thank you very much. Every line after the first line is indented. Please make note of that, because I can't tell you how often students lose massive points because they're not using hanging indentation. They're using regular indentation. And Devontae, I asked you not to make notes on that. Students lose massive points because they use regular indentation when they're supposed to use hanging. And if you think, well, why would I use hanging indentation? Don't worry. I'll show you exactly why hanging indentation makes total sense a little bit later in the class. But right now, just make sure that you have your MLA citation and that it is formatted with hanging indentation. Yes, for works cited pages and MLA citations. That's correct, Alma. Make sure you've got hanging indentation for all of that. Then you have a brief summary of the resource. And notice that this brief summary for this resource is a sentence long. It's not very long. If you were a graduate level student and turning in an annotated bibliography to a professor, this would be probably a lot longer. But for our purposes here, I just want a very quick sense of what exactly is in this resource. So take a look at the citation. It's called "Do Workplace Smoking Bans Reduce Smoking?" It comes from some website or some sort of journal called Ideas, published by the University of Connecticut. That gives me some information, but this sentence gives me a little bit more. This academic study reveals that smoking bans in the workplace reduce smoking rates among workers. It's an academic study that tells me that it's not just some media-inspired poll, it's not some blog. This is an actual university-sponsored study that shows that bans in the workplace actually do reduce smoking rates among employees. Good. The next part of this paragraph is an explanation of the use. How do I intend to use this in my paper? So don't just tell me what's in it. Tell me what you intend to do with that data for your overall debate argument. This data is important to show a connection between the ban and improvement of health. Even though this is only a workplace ban, the connection should carry over to a complete federal ban. Remember, my model example is exploring a complete federal ban on smoking. So if you look at the blue sheet you've got here, the United States federal government should illegalize smoking. That's my claim. That's my research resolution. These two sentences show how I intend to use the data from this resource to support that resolution. I'm arguing for a complete federal ban. If workplace bans work, then it is relatively logical to assume that that will help nationwide with all people as well. This is a single entry on an annotated bibliography. And this is what I would expect to see for every entry. So review, one more time. You've got an MLA citation. Notice that it's hanging indented. Space between the MLA citation and the what this is called it's an annotated bibliography. That's called the annotation. You'll see that there's a space between these two right here. You notice also that once you've indented, you keep the indentation all the way down. So the indentation works all the way down, and if you take a look at the next entry pulls back out to the left only on the first line of the citation and then hanging indents all the way down. So make sure you are keeping that indentation. You have a model example in front of you. That model example is available on the website. If you want to take a look at it while you're doing this, that's why I'm telling you right now that it's posted on the website. There's no need to take a super spy photo of the document. It's uploaded in PDF format. I appreciate the initiative there, Amma. However, I've made this easy for you. If you go to the Students Debate website, you're going to find all of these model examples uploaded. But Amma had the right idea. Amma wants to know exactly what it looks like. So when she finishes her annotated bibliography, she's probably going to be smart enough to look at the two documents together. And if hers looks significantly different, she'll realize that, uh-oh, I'm going to lose points because my formatting doesn't look like Clarkson's formatting. My formatting is correct according to MLA format. And that's what we're getting into, MLA format, which drives students nuts. Take a look at your evaluation report.